997, 998, 999, 1,000. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Just finishing up my workout. So you caught me at the perfect time. I got to keep in shape. I take my workouts very seriously. And I'll explain why in this very special edition of View from the Bleachers. As a humor writer, I realize that people routinely accuse me of telling over-the-top fabricated stories in my videos. They make these outrageously unfair accusations that just because I may bend the truth a tiny bit occasionally, and by occasionally I mean not more than 80% of the time, the other 20% of the time I'm telling the truth, although admittedly that's usually by accident. But what I'm about to tell you, I swear, this time I'm telling you the truth. A few years ago, I had a private workout with one of the most famous people in the entire world. You'll never guess who. Here's a hint. If you guess Denzel Washington, you might be a racist. No, it's not Denzel. I worked out with Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States. Seriously. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Welcome back. I'm Tim Jones, and yes, I had a private workout with our former president. I know, you don't believe me. My wife refused to believe me for the longest time. Of course, she still doesn't believe that I walked on the moon in the Apollo 17 mission either. I gotta tell you, I was sweating like a pig in that outfit. Yeah, but that's a story for another time. But I really did, I swear to God, do a workout with Obama. Now, let me set it up for you. The year was 2018. I was in San Diego for an industry conference. Obama was the keynote speaker. I wasn't able to attend his address because it started at 8 a.m. and that's just way too early to rise and shine, even for my favorite president. I was staying at a nearby Hilton hotel. The day following his speech, I was working out in the hotel's fitness center, doing my usual exercise routine of pretending to pedal on a stationary bike while in reality watching an episode of Parks and Recreation on my iPad. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but the 44th Prez with two bodyguards near. There he was, not 10 feet from me, pumping barbells and doing push-ups. There were only 8 of us in this rather large room, plus Obama and his 2-man Secret Service detail who were stoically standing at attention in the far corner of the room. Check out this picture. This is an actual photo of me in the very same fitness center as Obama. He was looking extremely fit, I have to say. Now, my brain was spinning way faster than I was pedaling at the sudden realization that the former president, my hero, and I were in essence working out together. There was no metal detector, no security pat-down, or any effort to detain me from entering the gym, which, in retrospect, was insanely reckless of the hotel's security. I mean, let's face it. I once wrote an article in which I tried to convince readers that I was a direct descendant of Jesus Christ, so I think it's fair to conclude that I'm not always playing with a full deck. Why take chances with someone like me within spitting distance of a former president? That's all I'm saying. Although I gotta say, I still totally think I have Jesus' chin. Just saying. Now, I can only conclude that Obama's security detail totally failed to check out my background because even a cursory Google search of my name would have established that I'm a humor writer who routinely mocks politicians. Thank God that they missed the fact that I had 3 speeding tickets when I was in grad school. Had they known about my past, I probably would be sitting in a Guantanamo cell right now. So there I was, within a few feet of Obama. Now, outwardly, I continued to remain calm, but inwardly, I was freaking out. I could not take my eyes off him, even though the Parks and Recreation episode that I had been watching was a particularly good one. The one from season 3 where Leslie Knope tried to explain to her boyfriend, Ben Wyatt, why this miniature horse that they called Little Sebastian is so special. What a classic. But I digress. In my head, my brain was buzzing with things that I wanted to say if Obama walked up to me. Mr. President, I miss you so much. after which I would probably have commenced sobbing, no doubt. Or maybe I'd say, Mr. President, if I give you a hug, will your two pals in the corner take me down and beat the crap out of me? In the end, I got completely tongue-tied. All of them that I could think to utter as he walked up to me was, "Sir, thank you for your service." To which Obama smiled and said, "Thank you." That's right. Obama thanked me, presumably for my contribution to great literature in my 500 humor articles that I've written over the years. Yeah, that's why. Everything I've described thus far happened exactly as I've described, but it's what happened next that you may find pretty incredible. I still can't believe it happened. You see, right after Obama said thank you, I suddenly found an inner confidence. I approached him, shook hands, and said, "Mr. President, may I ask a question? How is it that you remain in such remarkably good shape after 8 grueling years as president?" Then, incredible as it may sound, Obama pulled me aside, put his arm around me, and warmly responded, "Well, that was a great question." And then he asked my name. My name. In shock that he would actually ask that, I stumbled. Tim Jones. Well, I'll never forget what he said next. "You're not by any chance that Tim Jones fellow who wrote that hilarious political satire book, I'm So Sick of White Guys? I gave that book 5 stars on Amazon." Oh my God. Did he really just say this? Yes, he did. Well, taken aback, I said, yes, yes, sir, I am that person. "How did you know about my book?" I asked incredulously. "Hey," he shouted to his security detail, "this is the author of that book I was telling you about." And then he looked back at me and said, "I heard about it from Joe Biden. He loved it, by the way. In fact, I was reading it just now on the exercycle." Now, I know you're going to say, no way, but it's true. How else to explain this photo of Obama at the gym where I met him working out, reading a copy of my book, I'm So Sick of White Guys? Now available in paperback on Amazon.com and other fine online booksellers. "You mean this book?" I said sheepishly. He replied, "Yeah, that's the one. Hell of a job. Oh, and call me Barry." "So you want to know how I stay fit?" he said, remembering my initial question. "Well, if you have time, sir, but you probably have somewhere you need to be right now." I rambled, my brain's still in shock. "Hey, it's Barry, remember?" he said, his face now beaming from ear to ear. Oh, right, Mr. President. I mean, Barry, I said nervously. "Well, if you have time, Tim, I'd be happy to show you," Obama enthusiastically replied. He spent the next 30 minutes walking me through his fitness regimen, watching me try the moves and giving me some helpful coaching advice about breathing, stretching, and strengthening my core. And then Barry and I grabbed a cup of coffee at a local cafe, which now that I think of it is kind of amazing because until then I never particularly liked coffee. In the photo, that's me to Barry's right. I'm embarrassed to admit I can't even remember what I was saying to him, but he sure looked totally enthralled by my words, doesn't he? Now, next, we went to San Diego's Mission Beach area where we threw the football on the beach. He's got a great spiral, that guy. And then we went paddleboarding. Okay, well, Barry did anyway. I was too scared, so I opted for the kayak, as you can plainly see. Then we spent time making sand sculptures. He made a real cool fire-breathing dragon. Quite impressive, I have to say. I decided to try my hand at sculpting his likeness in front of the presidential seal. What do you think? Honestly, I don't think it's my best work. But in my defense, I was a bit intimidated given that I had never actually done a sand sculpture of Obama before. Eventually, Anthony and Marco, they're his Secret Service detail, but don't reveal their names to anyone. That could get me in big trouble. They reminded Barry that he needed to get to the airport. He was due to fly to Brussels to give a lecture at the European Union. How cool is that? "Hey, want to come along? It'll be fun," exclaimed my new bestie. Reluctantly, I had to decline. I have to work a trade show booth this afternoon. Maybe next time, okay, Bear? I have to tell you, it killed me to have to decline his generous offer, especially because he told me that the baked Alaska they serve for dessert on the plane is to die for. Well, as we parted, we hugged and we did our secret handshake that we came up with earlier while playing video games at the arcade. Um, well, in case you're not sure which hand belongs to who, mine is the lighter colored hand in the photo. And then before I knew it, poof, Barry and his limo were gone. And yet, I suspect some of you won't believe this is all true and really happened, but I swear it did. Well, some of it anyway. That's the view from the bleachers. If you liked this video, please click on the subscribe button and share this video with your friends or anyone you'd like to annoy. Or for more of my humor, you can always visit my website, viewfromthebleachers.net. Well, I have to go. I don't want to be late for my workout with Barry. Today, we're going to climb a rock wall that he recommended. I'm a little nervous because, well, I've not done rock climbing in quite some time. And, well, I know I really need to work on my upper body strength. Wish me luck.